Hey everyone, this is Dawn. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make a slimline card using Under the Mistletoe, and we're going to use some of the other images in the stamp set and not the pretty girl holding the packages. So I'm going to use the candy canes and the stocking and snow and some of the ornaments. Okay, I'm also going to use the square window slimline thin cut, some evergreen glitter paper, and candy apple and white daisy cardstock. Okay, so let's get started. First, I'm going to cut out the slimline, the square windows, and I'm using the evergreen glitter paper to make this frame. So I'll run that through my Big Shot. I'm going to keep this card rather low profile so that it'll go through the mail easily, but it'll still have lots of shimmer and shine. Okay, so there's my frame. Get all that out of the way, and then I'm going to cut some cardstock. So I'm going to use some candy apple cardstock, and I'm going to cut it to fit those windows. So it's going to be at 2 1/4 by 2 1/2. So I'm just checking to make sure it's the right size. And I'm cutting each of these pieces just a smidge larger than the windows so that it'll be easier to position my stamps. And I won't have to guess where they need to go and what's going to be covered up. Okay, so I'm going to start by I'm checking to make sure that my white daisy cardstock fits the windows too. And I'm going to start out by creating kind of a background using this snow stamp, and I'm going to do tone on tone stamping with candy apple ink on candy apple cardstock. So I'm just going to random stamp. And I realized I needed some scratch paper under there to catch the excess ink. Stamp off the edges, and I'm just filling up this whole panel with snow, just to create some interest with my background there. Okay. And then I'm going to stamp Merry Christmas. This stamp is called Merry Christmas Flourish, and it's still available. It's an M size stamp set. And I'm going to stamp in Versamark ink and then sprinkle some black glitter embossing powder over it. And this embossing powder is from Nuvo, and it's called Glitter Noir. So we'll sprinkle that on and tap off the excess, and then we'll heat it up and melt that embossing powder. Now don't make my mistake, and don't forget to use your anti-static powder pouch on your background first. So I remember to do it with this next one. So I'm lining up these 2 pieces of white daisy. Now I'm tapping it with the anti-static, and I'm going to stamp these ornaments in Versamark, and I'm going to stamp them in a continuous line across both panels. Okay, so winds up stamping 3 times because that center one stamped half on one and half on the other. Okay, so now I'm going to sprinkle some gold embossing powder on these. And these are also going to be background panels. And then we'll heat them up and melt that embossing powder. So instead of using patterned paper, I'm kind of creating my own. Okay. All right, now I'm going to bring in some more white daisy, and I'm going to stamp 2 images in black ink. The first one is the stocking, and then the second one is a little bundle of candy. And then off screen, I will color these in and then cut them out with the coordinating dies. Okay, so I'm using the tri-blend markers, and then I'll cut them out. Okay, all right, so now they're all finished and cut out, and we can start assembling the card. So I have a slimline card base, and then I'm going to put Tombow tape runner on the back of this glitter frame, and I'm using a ton of tape runner just because I want to get the adhesive close to the edges of the openings, and then I'll just lay down these background pieces that I created in each of the openings. Okay, and then I'll add a little more tape runner to the back of those, and then we can attach everything to the front of the card. Sometimes it's a little tricky to get them lined up, but fortunately this tape runner, it's a little forgiving and gives you a second to pick it up and put it back down. Okay, and then I'm going to pop the stocking and the candy using some thin foam tape. I was trying to decide which angle to put them at. And I couldn't make up my mind. And finally decided I had it right the first time. Don't know it till you see it, right? Okay, I like that. Okay, so I'm going to use some of these stickles. And this one is called Glisten. And I'll make a list of all these supplies that I used to make this card with links in the description below. So I'm just squeezing out some stickles on where the white areas are on the stocking. And then I'm going to use some of this mulberry shimmer brush on that lollipop. Make it add a little more glitter and shine. And there's my finished card. Got some close-up shots here. So I appreciate you watching my video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button and then you can find all of my videos. And thanks for watching.